Welcome to Shootin the Sport, where I sit down with your favorite coaches, athletes, and people in the industry to shoot the, you know. I'm Matison Little, and today's guest is Vincent Chapman, but you probably know him as the Dancing Umpire. He's the home plate umpire for the Savannah Bananas, bringing the energy and dance moves behind the plate. We talk about a day in the life as a Savannah Banana, how his passion for people turned into a life-changing opportunity, and the importance of staying true to yourself and doing what you love. I just know you guys are going to love this episode as much as I do. Vincent Chapman, aka the Dancing Umpire. Welcome to Shootin the Sport. How are you?
Thank you, Madison. Thanks for having me on today.
I just want to start out by giving you props because I appreciate all the joy you've brought to the game of baseball, to my For You page on TikTok, and just all the different events you're doing. It's really great to see you just having fun with it all.
Yeah, that's what I do. I have fun. So we're only living once, so you got to make the best of it. And I'm blessed to be on a platform that I can spread that joy and energy to others.
Has it always been like that? Were you an outgoing kid that just was looking to have fun?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was always the one getting in trouble because I was wanting to do the crazy things and just have fun. And back then, twerking wasn't really, it really wasn't, it was frowned upon. We should just say that.
Well, I love it. I was also the kid that got in trouble with talking too much on her report card, and now I talk about sports for a living. So it's interesting to see how things kind of come full circle for us all.
Yes, it does. I like to tell people, never change. Be yourself, be who you are. As long as you're being a good person, it really doesn't matter what people think.
I love that. Well, I want to kind of go back to that younger version of Vincent. As a kid, I know you played baseball your whole life. How critical was that sport in the formation of who you are? I mean, obviously it's taken a big toll on your life, but just personality-wise, how did that kind of help form you?
Baseball is the hardest sport to play because everybody knows if you make a mistake. Everybody knows if the shortstop misses the ball. In football, if the left tackle misses a block, you really don't know unless you slow the play down and realize why the running back's in the backfield and not 5 yards up the field. It's a team sport, but it's also individual sport, and a lot of pressure is on you. A lot of small things you have to do right, especially in hitting. But I had some really good coaches, had some really good mentors. Had a gentleman named Bobby Howard that really took me under his wing. We lived down the street. My best friend was Josh Howard growing up, and he really taught me, because if I would get hurt, so it wasn't hurt, it was just a bruise, I would think I was hurt.
Right.
And he taught me the difference between being hurt and being injured. Hurt is a bruise, hurt is a sprain, hurt is a rug burn or turf burn, whatever. Being injured is a broken bone.
Right.
And he really taught me how to be tough and to fight through those pains to perform at my best level.
And I think that can go beyond just the physical sense of things too. Baseball, I didn't play softball personally, but my sister did her whole life. And seeing that mental toughness that, it's not a missed play isn't a mental injury. Just move on and kind of build up that toughness. But I know you talk about it a lot, that baseball is a very serious sport, and it's because of those reasons. And you got into umpiring super, super early. You were a sophomore in high school, I believe?
I was. Yeah, you did your research.
I did. When you're in that traditional umpire role, how do you kind of combat that criticism or that feedback that you get from players, fans, even mentally knowing hey, I may have made a mistake and now I'm getting some heat for it?
What I like to tell everybody is we're all human. We're going to make mistakes. As an umpire, the biggest thing we have to do is get in the rule book, because judgment calls are going to happen. That's why it's a judgment call. That's why it can't be overturned or protested. A judgment call can't be protested because that's exactly what it is. But a rule, that's different. So I tell these young umpires, man, you want to be an umpire, get in the rule book, get in the case book, learn, study, because knowledge is power. And back then, you're going to get yelled at for fans, from coaches. You're going to get yelled at. It's just going to happen. But you just got to realize that they're playing for their team. They're passionate for their team. They're passionate for their kids. You have to remember that. So I'm a father myself. So when I go to games and these umpires miss a call, I'm like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" But I got to remember, hey, they're human. It's going to happen. Just like the players, they're human too. They're going to make mistakes. So we got to give a little leadway to the umpires because they're not perfect. They're going to make mistakes, and obviously pitches that are missing by this much. If you call it a strike, I mean, so be it. The bat is 33 inches long.
Right.
You can hit that ball. You know what I mean? But yeah, we could go on all day long about that. But
Right.
I know it's short and sweet. So.
Right. I know that personally, I always look at umpires and I'm like, that's the toughest job in sports because it is so individual. I mean, referees of any kind, really, but like just being so vulnerable to criticism, but then just having to like move on and still do your job. It's so tough. So props to you on that. And I know a big part of what you're doing now is to make it a little more fun and kind of get away from all that seriousness that is baseball. So you started dancing on the field as an umpire. Can you kind of just tell me about how that started and why you decided to do all of that?
Well, it started back in 2000, around 2008, whenever parents would bring their coolers with the built-in speakers that connect to their Bluetooth, and they would start playing music. Obviously, I've always loved to dance, but these kids are getting yelled at by their parents, coaches, their teammates because they missed a ball or they struck out. I'm like, man, this is a game. It's a game. That's why it was made for a game to have fun, and I wanted to bring my personality and show like it can be fun. I have to be out here for 8 hours during a tournament. I'm going to have fun, and you should too. And also, when you're having fun, you play better anyway because you're not so tight and stressed out about missing the next play. If you're relaxed, man, you do so much better. And that's in life in general because you can't think and do it at the same time. It's impossible. And if you're worried about doing something, more than likely you're going to do it. You're worried about striking out, more than likely it's going to happen. So if you can just clear your mind, have an approach, and that's what I did. I was going to have the best time on the baseball field as I can. I didn't take away from the game. It was between innings when kids are just warming up. Never did it during a pitch. It was not to bring light to myself. It was just to make the game fun. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed that someone finally saw it, which was Zach Frangelo with the Savannah Bananas. It was years later. It was 12, 13 years later. But finally happened. Living my dream right now. I'm able to entertain, dance, and also umpire. Three things that I love to do.
That's awesome. What is your go-to dance move?
It's you know everything's feel. Everything's feel for me. So whatever song's playing while somebody strikes out, that's kind of the move I'm going to go towards. But obviously the Shakira, the rump shaking, twerk. I mean that's my go-to. That's what people know me for. They call me the rump fire
The
for a reason.
vampire. I love it. You mentioned earlier that you have kids. What do your kids think about dad dance? What about in the early days? I know now it's like super cool, but like in the early days, what did your kids think about dad dancing on the field?
Early on when they were real little, they'd be embarrassed. We go to sporting events, games, but when they got older, it's like, that's my dad. That's my dad. And now they'll be the first ones to tell people. Like I get messages all the time. Hey, I met your son. They're both welders.
Okay.
So one welds on wind turbines, one works for the largest bridge manufacturer. So they'll go places and it's like, hey, I met your son, or they'll FaceTime me, hey, Dad. They don't believe me that you're my dad. So that's pretty cool that they appreciate what I do and they love me for who I am. So it's pretty neat to have that. So Chandler, my oldest, is actually the one that showed me what banana ball was, what the Savannah Bananas were.
Okay.
He showed me a video of stilts running to first base. It was literally 2 weeks before I got the message from the Savannah Bananas, which is
That's
pretty
awesome.
crazy.
That's awesome. A little foreshadowing, if you will. So I know you mentioned that the Savannah Bananas saw you online via Ellen Tube.
Yep, that's correct.
So when you're dancing in the early days, is this something you ever imagined would go viral?
No, I didn't. I didn't think it because I've been doing it so long. That was in 2015. I've been dancing since like 2008. And when that video did go viral, it really went viral. The news was, news outlets were reaching out to me like the day after. So it was pretty crazy to see that. But it's been something that I've done all along,
Right.
to know that I'm on a platform now, which was years later, and somebody actually wants that. Like, they wanted somebody to dance on the field. Like, who would ever thought that? Like, and not in a million years would you think that a baseball team would want an umpire to show attention to itself.
Right. Right. It's
So
kind of just a testament to what you said earlier, like staying true to yourself. Like you took a chance on dancing on the field because that's what you wanted to do and that's what made you happy. And now you have a career and you are doing appearances and you're a media personality just because you didn't conform to like society norms. And that's awesome.
yeah. I love that. Thank you for saying that, Madison. That's right. I mean, and anybody watching, if just live your life, be the best version of you that you can be. We're all different. We were all created different on purpose.
Right.
Like He created us different for a reason. If we were all the same, what a boring life we would live. But own that. Young kids, own it. If you're in band, own band. If you're in art, own it. Like be the best version of you and master your craft. And the sky's the limit, especially now with social media. And if you sing, you can put your videos out there, and next thing you know, America's Got Talent or The Voice is reaching out to you. That's just how things
Right.
work. We're not in a society anymore where it's just a newspaper. Which I will show you this. I'm on the front page of my local news.
Love
That's pretty
it.
cool right there. Yeah, I just had to show you that. Realized
No,
talking about
that's
news, but
awesome.
newspaper.
That's awesome.
But
It's cool to like be full circle in the sense that your hometown is now acknowledging what you're doing on a broad scale. It's super cool.
it's so neat. It's so neat that everybody's so you're gonna have haters, right?
Right.
If you're not doing it right, you're not. If you're not doing it right, you don't have haters.
Right.
That's just my motto, and I love haters because that fuels me. That knows I'm doing something right, and it's not for them. It's for me and my fans. So just remember that too. Everybody that's watching, listen, you're gonna have haters. Surround yourself that people want you to be better than them, though. That's your circle. That they want you to be better than them, because if you have your circle and they're just wanting to suppress you, and hey, I don't want you doing that because whatever reason, like you gotta have positivity in your life. So positive energy in, positive energy out. That should be your circle. And that should be your friends, your coworkers, your family. Everybody should want you to be the best version that you can be.
And I think that's kind of the premise of Banana Ball is just this community. And you were able to join that community in 2022 when you got to sign with the Savannah Bananas as their home plate umpire. What was that initial conversation like? I know you said you never in a million years thought that would happen, but when you got that email or that phone call, what was kind of your reaction?
Yeah, so it was a text message saying, "Are you still dancing? Are you still umpiring?" And I said yes. I sent him a few more videos of more recent things. And 2 days later, we had a Zoom meeting. It was me, Zach Frangelo, which is the director of entertainment, and Jesse Cole, the man of the yellow tux, the owner.
Right.
And when he told me what his vision was and what he stood for, which was fans first entertainment, I was all in. I knew in my heart, as soon as he told me that, I was like, Jesse, this is my job. This is what I was made to do. And ever since then, it's been a journey. It's been a learning curve because we have to learn like what do fans want, and they
Right.
do a great job. They do an excellent job of not only hiring players that have that, but hiring the whole staff. We get compliments all the time about the people that are just taking you your seat, or the marketing team, or everybody is great. And it blows my mind how they find people so good to fit our culture. It's just impressive.
I'm curious, just from a fan point of view, what goes into a game in terms of obviously these are athletes that are playing baseball at an extremely high level, but then also all the extras. What does a
Yeah.
practice or leading up to a game look like for the players and for yourself?
Yeah, so for the players, it's just crazy. They get to the field between 9:30 and 10. They have rehearsals for what's going to what could happen in the game. So our games are scripted if it happens, not when it happens.
Right.
So basically, it's just saying this: if someone hits a home run, this is what you're going to do, not so and so is going to hit a home run and this is what we're doing.
Right.
So they have to learn, and we do 10 to 15 things different every single game. So if you go to a Friday game, you're going to see something different on Saturday. So they get there early. They do rehearsals for what's going to happen, the walk ups, the celebrations, everything like that. The first team does it, then the next team comes in, and then after that, we have something called Fans First Chat. We go over things the previous weekend or things happened that weekend, all about fans, all about emails that they received, all about comments that they've gotten, just to know what we're doing to give it back.
Right.
And then they have BP. Then they have all their practices afterwards, and then they go sign autographs between 2 and 2:30. And then we have a pre show that starts at 3:30, and then the gates open at 5, and then it's a show from then on out. So our days don't start 2 hours before game time. Our days start early in the morning, and then we leave, an hour and a half after the game. So you're looking at 12-hour days during game days.
Crazy. What does your day look like? Because obviously, I don't think you're taking BP, but you definitely have some
Right.
situational things that you have to walk
Yeah,
through.
we have a few meetings, and if I'm a part of any celebration or something, which it don't happen often, but
Right.
I'll be at that meeting. But then we have a I'm in part of the cast, so we have a cast meeting, and they run through, hey, this is going to be this is going to be that. So my day's not nearly as tough as those players' days, but you have to be there. I like to go on TikTok Live. I like to get on TikTok Live and talk
Yep.
to my community, have fun there. I shoot a lot of content. I have different shoes at every major league ballpark, thanks to a guy named Sam Johnson _888. If you're wanting custom shoes, that's the guy. So just different things like that. But I don't show up 2 hours before the game. I'm like, all right, let's do this game. So
Right.
the prep that we put in, that the staff puts in, that Zach Frangelo puts in, or whoever's running that show, it's remarkable because everything has to be timed.
Right.
So, we're on ESPN now. We'll be on HBO Max. We'll be on TNT. It has to be timed. So we can't be behind time and we're just running late. So what they do, it's pretty impressive, and I'm just blessed to be just a small part of it.
Well, I work in sports too, and like right now over the summer, I'm working with a baseball team, and I'm doing some kind of like fan engagement stuff. And even my script there, it's very regimented. It's very like on a time. I have 60 seconds to do this, and
Yeah.
I'm not dancing. I'm not on stilts. I'm not doing all the crazy stuff. So maybe I should be, but but I can only imagine when you're getting ready for game one in this position, how nerve-wracking was that?
I don't remember. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember. I can barely remember what I ate for lunch yesterday. I do. I will tell you this now. I don't get nervous. It's more of an excitement for me now. I wish I did get a little nervous, like, oh boy, I got butterflies. I just think that I go into this as a job.
Right.
I know what I have to do. I know that what's expected of me, and I just do it. And I just go off field, and I go off the love that fans. Man, the fans bring so much energy. It's hard to be anything but excited,
I imagine.
and I love it. And you know the saying that if you love something, you'll never work a day in your life. That's how I truly feel right now. I've had the 8 to 5 jobs. Where like, gosh, I got to go to work again. I never said that. I travel so much. Like literally, I went from Baltimore to Anaheim to help with Jen Schro's catching clinic. Um, I literally got home yesterday afternoon at 5 p.m. and I'll fly out tomorrow at 10 a.m. So I love it. I mean, it stinks. Like traveling stinks. If you're on
Right.
an airplane every week, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But it's so much. It's so worth it. And I wouldn't trade this job for the world. If MLB called me tomorrow and said, "Hey, we want to pay you $400,000 to umpire the rest of the season," I would tell them no. That's how passionate I am about this job and how much I love this job and the fans. So
Well, that kind of leads me into a big question I have. How did your life change when you became part of the Savannah Bananas? Aside from all the travel, what changed about your life?
But yeah, so nothing but till recently. Recently, this past 6 months, I was able to quit my IT job. So I no longer work IT and I no longer work bananas. So I just have full time bananas. I signed with a company. I do commercials for them. I do a lot of social media posts for other, you know, things.
Right.
They want me to do their use their stuff, and I do social posts for that. Um, I've been really blessed. I do a lot of, I do a lot of cameos and stuff like that. So my life has changed tremendously because it's a platform I'm on now. I can spread my joy and positivity to people. Um, you know, like I said, banana ball is the greatest sport or greatest show on earth. And if you don't believe me, come to a game because you can watch it on TV, but until you get to experience it firsthand, there's nothing like it. It's like a concert you've ever always wanted to go to, and you're so hyped, and everybody around you is so happy and so excited. You have no other choice but to be happy and excited.
That's so awesome. How does your wife feel about everything?
She has her good days and bad days. She's the one that actually had these papers sit on the table. Just she's proud of me. She's proud of me, and honestly, it's her that without her, I couldn't do this. I mean, a marriage is tough as it is, and then me being gone 9 months, 10 months out of the year, pretty much, only being home a few days a month, it's hard. But she's my number one cheerleader. She's the rock. She's the one that went out in 16-degree weather to film some videos for me, to send to the bananas to show them my strike three call and what it would look like. I literally had one day left to do it, and I was sitting on the chair. She's on the couch. I was like, I'm not going to do it. She said, Yeah, you are. She looked me dead in the eye. She said, If you don't, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. And boy, I'm glad she got me off that chair because I wouldn't be where we're at today without her there. So,
That's awesome. Just a couple random questions I have. What has been your favorite banana ball memory so far?
Dabo Sweeney and Clemson telling me that I was his favorite person on the field. That's huge. Like Clemson's Dabo Sweeney, that I was his favorite. Like that, I fangirled. Yeah, fanboyed, whatever you want to call it. So
I love
that's
that.
probably my number one moment. I got to meet a lot of cool people, and that's really cool as well. Jelly Roll being one, awesome. John Cena, Holly Holmes, numerous baseball players, Johnny Damon. But for him to say that, like that really touched me. This guy's won national championships.
That's
And
awesome.
for him to say I was his favorite on the field, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Do you have a maybe a fan interaction that sticks out to you in this last year of kind of your growing fame?
Yeah, so if you've seen me in action, you know that I like to eat during the game. Um, a couple of fans gave me a lobster roll last year, and also a new fan gave me a lobster roll in Philly this year. Man, those lobster rolls with butter, hot butter, it don't get any better than that. And to say I got to eat one while I'm umpiring, you know, it's crazy. Crazy to think about.
Is there anything you want to do in this role that you've not done yet?
I want to meet King Griffey Jr. and I want to have a one-on-one with Jack Black.
That would be iconic. I would love to see that.
He's my spirit animal.
Well, that kind of brings me to my next question. What's been your motivation through everything?
Um, just living my best life, just being the best version of me. I want to spread as much joy and happiness to as many people as I can. It brings me joy, and it sounds selfish, but when I make somebody happy, it makes me happy. And I want to continue doing that for a very, very long time. I want to touch as many people's lives as I can. I'm getting a little emotional right now, but this world is dark we live in. We have so much darkness, and I just want to be a light to people. I just want to be a small light. Yeah, I dance and it's silly and I twerk. Some people don't like it, but my heart's pure, and I want other people to be able to have that pure heart to send to others that may not be as fortunate as us, and maybe change their life for the better.
Well, you definitely are that. You're doing a great job. You light up my For You page, like I said, every time I see it. And I know that you've just been a motivation to so many people, and you are just such a light in this conversation. Even like it's brought me so much joy today in a day where I was tired and I don't want to go to work later.
Yeah.
So you're doing what you want to do, and it's great to see that you care so much.
Appreciate you, Madison. Thank you.
Yeah, what is next for you? I know you're going to stay with the Savannah Bananas, but what's kind of in your next year to 5 year plan?
I hope in 5 years I'm still with them. If I'm in a wheelchair, so be it. I can still sing the song. They see me rolling, they hate it. And as long as this hand works, it'll be fine. That's how you get people out right here. Strikes
Right.
and outs right here. So,
Right, and you might have a
um,
better view of the strike zone a little lower.
hey, I mean, honestly, I don't have to squat very far. If I'm sitting down, it's right there. I just move my chair to the slot to the right, slot to the left. I mean, hey, and there's never been a umpire in a wheelchair in the bigs. I'm not saying little league. There's not. Actually, I do know one guy that does umpire in a wheelchair, so I could be the second guy. I could be the second guy.
Well, you've definitely made a habit of carving your own path. You're the first dancing umpire, and to be the second, but at a higher level in a wheelchair
Yeah.
would be pretty cool. But again, I just want to ask you one final question. If you had a message to anyone or to people watching, I know that a theme in this has been just staying true to yourself. But what would you tell people maybe that are still trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives? What would you tell them?
I would tell you to find something that you love. If you grew up loving art, find you something to do in art. If you grew up in sports and you can't play anymore, find something in sports medicine. Find something that you're passionate about. Because at the end of the day, if you're not passionate about something, you're going to live a miserable work life. You know, my thing has always been about people. I love people. So I was in the restaurant business for a very long time. And then I went to sales with an IT company because I love people. I love helping people. So find something that you love to do. If you're at that age, you're just graduating college and you're like, man, I just got this degree, but now in my heart I don't feel like then it's okay to change it. It's okay to go a different path. And it may take you 5 jobs to figure out what you really love. And that's okay, but find something that you really love to do. Stay true to yourself. Don't settle for anyone. A man, a woman, don't settle. Always know your worth. And if you can do that, if you can know your worth and you can love yourself, then there's something out there that you can love that when you work, it's not really work because you love it so much.
Well, once again, thank you so much for coming on. This has been a blast, and watching you do your thing has been a blast, so I appreciate you.
Oh, Madison, this has been so much fun. I think we should do this every morning, 30 minutes. It's like my cup of coffee. You done got me energized. I don't need coffee now. I can just go. I'm gonna hit the day. I got a bunch of errands to do. I gotta get my beard trimmed. I gotta get my hair cut. Um, I gotta go get a massage. So,
All the
hey, I'm
things.
ready to go. So, thank you again, Madison, and keep doing what you're doing because your podcast. This was effortless.
Thank you.
So, you're very talented at this.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna set your cameo of "They See Me Rolling" as my alarm clock sound in the mornings to get me going.
It's really good.
Well,
That's funny. That's so funny.
well, thank you so much. Good luck with everything, and we'll be watching you crush it on ESPN and HBO or in some games in person. So,
Absolutely. Cannot wait, Madison. I'll see you soon.
thank you.